You are watching WCSD from the Calloway County School District.
Welcome back, Lakers. Seems like tragedy dominates the national news these days. Are you feeling any less safe to live your life? This week, we'd like to highlight some rather serious topics, as well as our Callaway sports teams and a look at some techies from the world of entertainment. Coming up on Laker TV. Hey Lakers, welcome to Friday 13th edition of Laker TV.
Today we are starting the show off on a rather serious topic.
Indeed we are.
While we were enjoying fall break last week, something very disturbing happened at a country music festival in Las Vegas. In what some are calling the deadliest mass shooting in modern American history, almost 60 people were killed by a gunman who fired into the crowd from his hotel room window.
We wanted to know how you guys are responding to yet another mass shooting event in our country.
So are you feeling any less safe after this latest tragedy? We asked several people here at CCHS for their response. And in all honesty, most people did not want to talk about it on camera. But here are a few that were willing to share.
Well, I mean, I don't really feel necessarily affected by it, and I haven't really changed anything, but it kind of does make me feel less safe with a lot of violence happening like this.
Definitely makes me pause. I'm going to be leading a trip to Europe in the summer, and of course things that have happened in London, in Paris. It does make you stop and think. However, I do know I can't live life in fear, so I do feel like I do have to move on. I just need to be more cautious, aware of my surroundings and things such as that.
I don't personally feel any more or less safe. Just maybe that's because of like where I live, like here, nothing like that really happens. But if I were in a bigger city, I would kind of like question, if I were in a bigger crowd, or think more carefully about where I was going and who I was going with and what time.
I think it does make me have caution, but I probably won't stop attending those events because I don't want to let the fear that these individuals are trying to put on people and to scare people hold me back.
Probably more so allowing my daughter to go to one, and that's already something that I would be leery of anyway. But I think there is concern of large gatherings, whatever it might be. We know that those are target areas, but I do know that there is obviously every time this happens there will be increased security and things like that are considered. And so I don't think we change our way of lives, but you do have to consider those possibilities. And but if it's a really good concert, I'm not going to let that keep me from it.
Do you think Americans are becoming desensitized to the acts of violence to the point where they expect this to be like a normal way of life in the United States?
Sad to say, I do feel like we are becoming a little bit more desensitized. I think in events as this, we do stop and think. I think it does hit home. It does hit us, the emotions, but I do feel like we move on too quickly.
Wow, that's very disturbing, and we still don't know why this guy felt the need to randomly shoot into a concert crowd?
No, not really, but the investigation is likely to continue for weeks trying to find the answers. In the meantime, lots of families are left to pick up the pieces of their lives.
Well, thanks, Elena, for bringing us that perspective on this story, and we'll be back in a moment with a big sports story from last night.
15 miles an hour! Go!
September 17th through the 23rd is National Farm Safety and Health Week, encouraging us to share the road with farm equipment. After all, farmers are the ones who feed us.
Shannon's turning the same way as me!
A message from the Calloway County Farm Bureau and the Calloway County FFA chapter.
Our top story in sports this week comes from last night when the Laker boys soccer team captured the district championship in a convincing 3-0 win against Graves County. That means they're heading to the regional tournament on Monday at McCracken County Soccer Stadium. Callaway will be facing Paducah Tillman in the opening round. There were also 5 Lakers named to the all-district team: Christian Adams, Ty Davenport, Ty Stahl, Jacob Smith, and Aaron Dawson. Also, we want to say congratulations to our Lady Lakers who were selected for the girls all-district team. That's Kelly Puckett and Zoe Stahl. The girls were eliminated from the district tournament earlier this week. So, how would you feel if you moved to a new school and joined a new sports team? This week, we turn the spotlight on Laker volleyball as reporter Jesse Rains gives us an inside look at one of our students in this situation.
Being the new kid can be really difficult and fitting in can be hard for many. But one student has used her love for volleyball to find comfort and new friends. Junior Hayden Wade talked with me about how she felt coming to Callaway.
It was hard at first, but then I got comfortable with everybody and I made new friends.
Hayden used to play for Marshall County since the 7th grade, but now she's moved to one of their rival schools here.
I love it. The girls are all really nice and they made me feel really welcome, so.
It turns out she had nothing to worry about. She has many friends and all of her best friends are already on the volleyball team.
Callaway's a lot smaller and I like that, so I get to know everybody and everybody knows me. I also like the teachers a whole lot better.
For LakerTV, I'm Jesse Rains.
The volleyball team is gearing up for district tournament action next week, so good luck, Lakers. Meanwhile, it's Friday, and that means football tonight for Calloway County. The Lakers travel to Hopkinsville High School, and we wish them luck as well. And don't forget that a trap shooting team is coming to CCHS. There will be a meeting for anyone interested on October 19th in the cafeteria at 3:15. And you may not know it, but we already have some students that compete in trap shooting at the national level. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of team we can put together here at CCHS. That's all for Laker Sports. I'm Caleb Spain.
Thanks, Caleb. Still to come on this week's edition of Laker TV, a look at the technicians who spice things up at concerts, and Chesley Nance returns with some more unusual news stories. We asked students and teachers how they feel about Eminem coming to the school.
Oh, I think that'd be cool. I'd like to meet the real Slim Shady.
It's okay, I guess.
Sounds tasty. M&M's, yeah.
Not really. I don't really think it's that big of a deal. I don't really enjoy his music.
Yo, 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 yo.
Am I the only one that thought that was just weird? Anyway, carry on, Elena.
Several of you may know that one of our reporters, Jordan Lax, one day hopes to become a lighting director. That's right, as we have reported in the past, Jordan has been mentoring with the Oak Ridge Boys lighting director over the past year. He's even programmed lights for a few of their songs. So we thought we would use this as an opportunity to show some career exploits into the world of entertainment. It's not just the performers on stage that make a concert such a fun experience. Have you thought about being the folks behind the scenes controlling the sound, the lights, and other special effects?
The favorite part about my job, I would say, I live for the audience, the viewer, their reactions, and seeing their enjoyment on their faces. This past year with the Oak Ridge Boys on their Christmas tour, I was the video director and LED wall technician. With that, I was the media server programmer and operator. So we added LED video wall elements to the production last year. And so each day I was responsible for the construction and operation of the wall. So I would arrive to the venues, build the wall, make sure that everything is up and running, check my media server, make sure everything's connected and operating, and then during performance, I would run the content from my console at front of house. This fader here just contains our cue list that's running everything that you see. Then in addition to that, I do have par cans, which are a conventional fixture. Those are in 6 different colors: magenta, red, blue, amber, teal, and yellow. And so I can control and change those live during a show.
I spend most of the morning setting up for the concert, getting it ready to go, and then during the concert I run the console and call the spot cues. And then after the show, we tear it all back down and put it back in the trailer.
Wow, I had no idea all that work went into a concert. On next week's edition of Laker TV, Jordan will give us a behind-the-scenes look into the world of sound at concerts.
2017's hurricane season has been undoubtedly brutal for the U.S. and many other small islands. We have reporter Chesley Wilson here to give us some insight on what our state is doing to help.
Among all the devastation the recent hurricanes have caused the U.S. and Virgin Islands, we've seen many people coming to aid the victims in the time of need, including the Kentucky National Guard. 120 Army National Guard soldiers have just deployed to the Virgin Islands, where it is still difficult to find food and water, and most people are without power. Already there in early September because of the Hurricane Irma, they departed from the Kentucky Air National Guard base in Louisville again just last week and plan to pick up injured and trapped island residents to get medical attention and are bringing supplies with them.
In addition to the local National Guard unit, some of our students here at CCHS have also been lending a helping hand. Our FBLA chapter has been busy collecting toothbrushes to send to storm victims, as you can see in this photo. And we understand that some other students even made mission trips to Houston during fall break to help with cleanup.
Well, I believe that is enough serious news for today. Now time for some weird news from Chelsea Nance.
Time to get spooky, my dudes. It's Friday the 13th. No, get out.
This want to be in one video.
So I'm guessing most people know this dude and his iconic hands. Well, these gloves were anonymously dropped off at a UK police department. If I ever saw these, like if I worked at that police department, I would put these on and just scare the crap out of my coworkers. These would be my dream to have. I would also just sit there ominously, like, just to see the stares that I get. I would also am planning on somehow doing this for Halloween. This brilliant person put out this decoration for Halloween, and the police department got several different calls from residents saying somebody was getting crushed by a garage door. But when they went to check it out, it was just straw and like some clothes. So they made a post about it on Facebook and told people not to worry. And some residents still hated it because it didn't have a good impression on the children, but I still give this person major props. Some of you guys might have played this game or seen people play this game all over the internet, but for this village in Oregon, the game has come to life. This Slenderman was walking out and staring at people in daylight, and they didn't know what to do. If it was real or fake, whether to panic or laugh. Luckily, he didn't harm anyone, mostly because he's working for a haunted house. And all of this was for promotion. Wow. Get spooky. For Laker TV and Weird News, I'm Chesley Nance.
Well, that's all for Laker TV today, folks.
Till next week, I'm Elena Williams.
And I'm Emily McIntosh, and as always, keep crushing it, Calloway.
Well, I mean, I don't really...